Greetings, 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 good people. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for clicking on the video. It's Wednesday, June 26th, the year is 2024, and it's Hot Topics time, okay? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Right now, as you're coming in, please, I ask that you pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. Thanks in advance. All right, on today's lineup, Ray J. There's an accusation being hurled at Ray J, and it involves Wendy Williams. I'm definitely gonna touch on that. There has been an update with Remy Ma's son. Okay, he was arraigned, so I'm gonna touch on that. All right. Such a shame. Such a shame. Peter Thomas. What else is new? Peter Thomas owes the IRS money. He's issuing an apology for whatever reason, giving a statement for whatever reason. I'm going to touch on that. And did you guys know that Trina, the rapper, is married? I just found this out a few minutes ago. All right, so without further ado, let's get into these hot topics. But before we proceed with all of the celebrity shenanigans, I got a bit of news that most of you can use. All right, so this is according to the Spiritual Word page on Instagram. Starting July 1st, landlords cannot ask the tenant for 3 times the rent anymore. Everybody, give it up, okay? Give it up. Now, this is something that definitely makes sense. So the House and the Senate passed this bill. Interesting. This is very, very interesting, and it's good news for a lot of people who are in a position where they're renting, okay? For those of you who might not know, usually when someone is looking for instance, an apartment, right? And in order for you to get approved, you have to meet certain qualifications. And one of the qualifications in some areas is that you have to make 3 times the amount of the monthly rent, which is insane, okay? It's absolutely insane. Everything is gone through the roof. The price of cereal, I've been saying this for years, pay attention to the price of cereal. Once you see the price of cereal going through the roof, you know we are in trouble. So this, I'm pretty sure, will put a lot of renters at ease, rightfully so, okay? Some of these comments were definitely hilarious. You know, they were saying that the landlord don't even make 3 times, the rent. And I do believe that rent should be controlled. I know in some states there's no rent control, so the landlord can raise the rent as much or as little as they desire on a year-to-year basis, or at the end, or upon renewal of your lease. So this is a bit of news that you could use. I didn't pull up a lengthy article. I saw this and I did, read through some of the articles that were online. But anyway, shout out to the renters, okay? So this, like I said, this is news that you could use. You can read up on this at your leisure. Okay, moving along. So Peter Thomas, for whatever reason, is giving a statement or issuing a message for whatever reason regarding his usual financial troubles. Okay, so Peter Thomas with a message amid mounting legal issues stemming from his failure to pay his debts. Okay, the IRS started a case that showed I failed to pay my withholding on time. Y'all want to hear this? Like to hear it? Here it go.
Including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc., etc.
Lord, Peter, Lord.
All right, I'm here to make a statement. My attorney and I have been working on a case for the last 2.5 years now, and it came in on where I'm putting out this statement. I must have to apologize to my mom, my dad that's passed, and my kids, my friends, immediate family members, and anybody out there that checked for me. I did some wrong that I have to make right. I have to stand up. I have to be accountable. I have to be responsible, and I have to pay my debt. For 2.5 years ago, the IRS started a case that went back 10 years and showed that from one struggling business to the next and the next,
What?
that I'd failed to pay my withholding taxes on time. And at some point, when the business wasn't doing well, failed to pay at all. And it's something that I thought I could work out, catch up with, make hold. But the hole got deeper for me. So I deeply.
Bye, Peter. I'm distracted because he keeps looking up and away. What are you looking at? That's number one. Number two, who asked Peter for this? Most of us who have been following Peter since Real Housewives of Atlanta, your financial troubles, that has been your storyline for the entire time that you were on Real Housewives of Atlanta and even after. So this is very interesting. This comment I thought was funny. A $9 million judgment for the Miami restaurant is wild. Not paying taxes on a registered, supposedly legitimate business is wilder. This apology video, instead of making a payment plan, is the wildest. Okay, shout out to this comment. I wish they would have pinned this. I thought that this was logical and funny at the same time. Peter, we don't care. People are out here trying to keep their head above water, okay, trying to make the best out of a bad situation financially. The price of cereal is gone through the roof, and you over here in your jacket and your tie and your button-up shirt telling us that you apologize to your mother, to your father who's passed, your friends, and everybody who's checked for you. What are you apologizing to them for? Did they loan you money? I don't understand. I don't know. Peter wants to trend, apparently. Whose idea was it for him to give this statement? Peter, no one is shocked by your financial woes. I wish you nothing but the best. And I think you'll be all right. You'll be all right. What was he looking at? Child, we don't care. People out here trying to make ends meet. And you talking about owing the IRS and apologizing and whatnot. Anyway. All right, let's move this train along. I thought that this was very interesting. Okay. Ray J is no stranger to controversy. All right. Ray J seems to love attention, and he oftentimes gets it, whether it's good attention, or bad attention. Ray J loves attention, and he seems to be, wherever the drama is, Ray J seems to be there trying to put a positive spin on a hot mess. All right. So there's this individual by the name of Stunner Girl. All right. She has a message for Ray J. Now, if I'm understanding correctly, I think Stunner Girl is a part of the Zeus network, the shows that are over there. So I don't know if she's a part of a show that Ray J is producing. I'm assuming so, because Ray J had his hand in Zeus, the Zeus network, when Zeus network first came about. Anyway, so this is what Stunner Girl posted to social media. Instead of constantly being worried about me, Ray J needs to focus on what he did to Wendy Williams. She ain't been the same since you took her on that drug binge, gang. Oh my. What's going on here? Now, there are some individuals in the comments. This comment in particular states Ray J is clearly a quote-unquote handler. They sent him to, quote, monitor things, end quote, or, quote unquote, finish the job. Because why is he always around the biggest celebrities at their lowest moments? Now, Ray J did frequent the Wendy Williams show. Okay, quite a bit, right? And I always thought that it was interesting how, quote unquote, close they appeared. Wendy Williams liked Ray J. He's significantly younger than her, right? But she liked Ray J. She thought Ray J was cool, and she loves Brandy and Sonia Norwood. She loves the whole family. And Ray J would get on Wendy Williams' show whenever an interview was being done and would act like Ray J acts. And I always thought it was weird that him and Wendy Williams hung out together. What could they have in common hanging out together? Now, I don't know what this woman is talking about. I don't know if she's privy to some information that we are not, but I got 2 words for you. 3, Whitney Elizabeth Houston. Okay. Some of us ain't forget. Moving along, okay? Remy Ma, you guys know that Remy Ma's son is facing some serious legal troubles, right? So there's an update according to the Jasmine brand. So he was arraigned on a 7-count indictment, including the M word. My goodness. Okay, so let's get into this article. New details have surfaced in the M word case involving Remy Ma's son, Jason Scott. So, according to reports, the 23-year-old was arraigned on Tuesday, June 25th, on a 7-count indictment charging him with the M word in the first and second degrees. Woo! That's heavy. How do you get one M word charge in the first and second degrees? 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree and reckless endangerment in the first degree. So, as reported, Remy's son and his associate, his friend, they were allegedly involved in a 2021 M word for hire job that occurred in Queens and resulted in the passing of 47-year-old Darius Gillibo. Now, this word, we've seen this word before. Remember Tim Norman? Shout out to all of you who became subscribers during my coverage of Tim Norman and his shenanigans. He was found guilty for this M word for hire plot against his nephew. Okay. This is wild. There's rumors circulating around about who this young man whose life, or this man whose life was taken, who he was and who he was associated with. All of that, I'm sure, is going to come out in court. Okay. So anyway, the associate of Remy Ma's son, who was allegedly in custody at the time of Remy Ma's son's recent arrest due to his alleged involvement in other M-word cases. He was also formally charged on Tuesday. Both men are being held without bail, y'all. If convicted of the top count, Remy's son faces up to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Remy Ma's son's associate, who's 22, he faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted. This is heavy. This is really heavy. And as I said before, I can't even imagine what Remy is going through and her family. And I also can't imagine what the deceased individual's family is going through. I'm sure they're looking for some justice. They're looking for some justice. And I'm gonna tell you something. That associate gonna talk. But what do I know? They're gonna talk, and hopefully, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm hoping that this is not true, and if it is, and he's found guilty, yikes. All right. On a more a lot lighter note, did you guys know that Trina was married? So Trina secretly married her Love and Hip Hop Miami beau Swerve. Now, I must have been out of the loop for a long time, because apparently this Swerve gentleman, is that how you say his name? Swerve? That's how it looks. He was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Now, the last season, I don't think I watched, because I don't recall Swerve. The last I recall, what is that gentleman's name that Trina was with for years? And he was like her assistant. He was her right-hand man. She loved him. At one point, I think he proposed to her. What happened to that guy? And when did she meet Swerve? All right, let's get into this article. So, rapper Trina has reportedly tied the knot in a surprise marriage. This is according to recent developments. At the 2024 Hollywood Impact Awards, the 45-year-old artist and reality star reportedly disclosed to Jason Lee that her companion for the evening, Swerve, is her husband. What is that man's name, y'all? The short guy that she was so in love with. I can't think of his name. And then they broke up, and now she married? That's interesting. So, further adding fuel to the speculation, a screenshot of a marriage license surfaced indicating that Trina and Swerve, whose real name is Ben Kearse, were married on May 22nd, 2024 in Miramar, Florida. There go to, this is it right here. This is the marriage license. Spouse 1 information. Spouse 2, Katrina Laverne Taylor. Mm, mm, mm. Back in February, Swerve had a brief appearance in the reality TV show Love and Hip Hop Miami, where Trina introduced him to her cousin Joy, stating, "Every time we've been together, it's always been 100 people around, and I want my cousin to really get to know the man I'm in love with." I must have literally been under a rock because I normally keep up with Love and Hip Hop Miami, but this last season totally went over my head. And oh my goodness. Anyway, the couple was seen sharing hugs and kisses on the show, with Trina praising Swerve as a gentleman involved in real estate investments, saying, "He's a great gentleman. He actually does real estate. He buys and flips properties. I'm just so addicted to him. When it comes to love, he just gets me." What? Earlier this month, in an interview with Carlos King, Trina openly talked about her relationship, confirming Swerve's role in her life. When asked directly if they were married, Trina responded confidently, "That's my husband." I didn't see this interview, by the way. Speaking about the privacy of her marriage, she stated, "If you see it, oh well, I'm not hiding." Trina added that while there hasn't been a formal wedding yet, her relationship feels like a breath of fresh air. Well, where she met the man at? Did she go into that on Love and Hip Hop? What about the other guy? Oh, he probably is sick. The other guy that you guys know who I'm talking about, the other guy that she was dating, and there were rumors that they were dating, and Trina never really said much of anything, but she loved him and he loved her. What happened to that guy? I might have to go back and binge watch Love and Hip Hop Miami. I didn't see this coming. Well, congratulations, Miss Trina. Hopefully, you have a long, healthy, happy, prosperous marriage with your husband. I wish you nothing but the best. We definitely had to end off on a lighter note, y'all. So drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Did you watch the recent season of Love and Hip Hop with Swerve and Trina? If you did, drop down in the comments. What is the tea? I had no clue. What are your thoughts about Remy Ma's son? That's heavy, isn't it? Ray J and Wendy Williams. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about Ray J? Y'all think he's a handler? A lot of people are accusing him of being so. I don't know. Peter Thomas, do you care about his constant financial issues? Do you think that this statement was necessary? Yeah, I cut the clip short because he wasn't saying much of anything. You can go back and watch it if you choose. And what are your thoughts about landlords not being able to ask tenants for 3 times the rent anymore? I think that is fantastic news for the renters and for the landlords too, because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to have more tenants than you can handle because people can afford to rent, properties without having to come up with that large lump sum of a deposit. Anyway, y'all, I am signing off. It is not too late for you to pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. Don't forget. All right, drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. I love you for watching as always. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.